Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Zoom session with His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on April 19th, 2020 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The Zoom session was given with the Singapore devotees.
Karoti Vachalam Mangalang Gayate Garim Katkithata Vahan Vande Srigaram Dinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. I'm very happy to be able to address my zone and all the devotees in Singapore. They need a repetition.
So if the devotees need repetition, please show your thumbs up. If you need repetition of what Maharaj speaks, please show your thumbs up.
Everybody's video's off. Would you like a repetition?
If you like repetition, please show your thumbs up.
I'm very happy to speak to the Singapore devotees.
So I'm very happy to speak to the Singapore devotees.
This is my zone.
This is my zone,
along with Kavi Chandra Swami.
along with Kavichandan Swami.
And we're very happy that Devotees.20200419 Prabhu is helping us.
And we are very happy that Devakinandan Prabhu is helping us.
At present time, the world is in the grips of this pandemic.
At present time, the world is in the grips of this pandemic.
And here in India, we're in a lockdown.
And here in India, we are in a lockdown.
Are you locked down in Singapore?
Are you locked down in Singapore?
I heard that Singapore is very well organized and maybe more controlled.
I heard that Singapore is more organized, maybe more controlled.
But, of course, so far the scientists or doctors, they don't have a specific treatment.
Of course, so far the doctors and the scientists, they don't have any specific treatment.
They say maybe by September they'll have.
They say maybe by September they will have.
And they're trying for a vaccine.
And they're trying for a vaccine.
They say that maybe by next year.
They say maybe by next year.
They're trying.
But they're trying.
What's missing is that most people don't say that by the mercy of God.
What's missing is that most of the people don't say by the mercy of God.
They're thinking that science is the only hope.
They think that science is the only hope.
But even scientists need inspiration from God.
But even scientists need inspiration from God.
And that's why we're trying to get everybody to chant the name of God.
That's why we are trying to get everybody to chant the name of God.
Following the Sanatana Dharma, we chant Hare Krishna.
Following the Sanatana Dharma, we chant Hare Krishna.
There in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, it says that there's no better.
In the Vedas, in the Upanishads, it is said that there is no better
way for destroying the ill effects of Kali Yuga.
That there is no better way to destroy the ill effects of Kali Yuga.
Kali Kalmashanashanam.
Kali Kalmash Nashanam.
So, and in the last verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam,
so in the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam,
it says by chanting the Harinam,
it says that by chanting the Harinam,
all the miseries of the human being are mitigated.
All the miseries of human beings are mitigated.
And we know that actually what we really need is to be in a service attitude to Krishna.
And we know that actually what we need is the service attitude to Krishna.
But instead, we're in material life, people are trying to enjoy
But instead, in the material life, people are trying to enjoy
their senses,
their senses,
and they think that is the goal of life.
and they think that that is the goal of life.
The senses sometimes give us happiness,
But senses sometimes give us happiness,
sometimes they give us suffering.
sometimes they give us suffering.
Now, this pandemic, people are suffering.
Now, in this pandemic, people are suffering.
In fact, the anxiety of it sometimes is greater than the disease.
In fact, the anxiety of disease is sometimes greater than the disease.
The Supreme Court in India asked the government to have the people chant Bhajan Kirtan and do the Mass.
The Supreme Court of India had the government of India to say to the people to chant Bhajan Kirtan and Namaz.
So in Singapore or anywhere, we have the possibility of getting the people to chant.
So in Singapore or any other place, we have the possibility of getting the people to chant.
Of course, we have to be very careful at the same time to avoid getting infected.
Of course, we have to be careful at the same time, avoid getting infected.
Because this disease is unique.
Because this disease is unique.
So wearing a mask when you go out.
So wearing a mask when you go out.
Because in the air, if something close, the disease may stay for a minute.
Because in the air, the cause of the disease may stay for 1 minute.
Of course, when the virus hits a hard...
Of course, when the virus hits a hard surface...
Mute your mic, please.
Please mute your mic.
When the virus hits a hard surface, it may survive for 3 or 4 days.
When this virus hits a hard surface, it may survive for 3 or 4 days.
That's why the government is saying, wash your hands frequently with soap and water.
That's why the government is saying to wash our hands frequently with soap and water.
Because on your hands you may get the virus.
Because on your hands you may get the virus.
Touch your face.
If you touch your face,
touch something, it transfers the virus.
You transfer the virus.
So by washing the hand, we can prevent that.
So by washing the hand, you can prevent that.
By maintaining the social distancing.
By maintaining the social distancing.
If someone has the virus, we won't get it.
If someone has the virus, we won't get it.
If you know any devotee that has a positive, as a Russian devotee that says he has a cure.
So if you know any devotee who has this coronavirus or who is positive, there is a Russian doctor devotee who says that he has a cure.
And some doctor wants to do a study to see if it works.
Some doctor wants to do a study to see if it works.
So far, 40 people have been cured.
So far, 40 people are cured.
Anyway, we find that many devotees, like someone started a Bhagavad Gita class.
We find that many devotees, like some devotees started a Bhagavad Gita class.
And it was, for beginners.
It was for beginners.
He didn't know how many would be interested.
He didn't know how many would be interested.
He was surprised.
500
people joined.
500 people joined.
And so people are now more receptive.
People are now more receptive.
They know that government, doctors, hospitals, they can only do so much.
They know that the government, doctors, hospitals, they are not able to do so much.
They can only do so much.
They can only do so much.
People are more receptive to the spiritual life at the present time.
People are more receptive to the spiritual knowledge at this time.
We're reading how Prabhupada said, sometimes these material miseries are blessed by the Lord.
Prabhupada says that sometimes these material miseries are the blessings by the Lord.
Material happiness is a kind of intoxication.
Material happiness is a kind of intoxication.
Makes us think, this world is very nice.
makes us think that, oh, this world is very nice.
Having some occasional suffering is good. It helps us to be more Krishna conscious.
Having some occasional suffering is good. It helps us in becoming more Krishna conscious.
This is the problem in Sargaloka. Too much happiness, no suffering.
This is a problem in Swargaloka. Too much happiness, no suffering.
Here we have enough suffering.
Here we have enough suffering.
Enough happiness, it balances out.
Enough happiness to balance it up.
So here we can be more easily Krishna conscious.
So here we can be more easily Krishna conscious.
And in hell, it's too much suffering, in heaven, too much enjoyment.
In the hell, too much of suffering. In the heaven, too much of enjoyment.
So here we have a balance.
So here we have a balance.
Now this is the time for you all to cash in and try to help to spread the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
This is the time for you to cash in and help in preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Well, I like to see the devotees in Singapore.
But I would like to see the devotees in Singapore.
I'm very happy that you're in Krishna consciousness.
I'm very happy that you are in Krishna consciousness.
This is our special mercy handed down from Srila Prabhupada.
This is the special mercy endowed from Srila Prabhupada.
And by the mercy of his representatives,
And by the mercy of his representatives,
you're all Krishna conscious.
you all are Krishna conscious.
So please help the other people to also be Krishna conscious.
So please help the other people to also be Krishna conscious.
There's one other last point was that this coronavirus
One last point was that this coronavirus,
is apparently from the animals.
apparently it came from the animals.
They say that in Wuhan, China, they have a market where they sell bats and snakes and wild animals.
It says that in Wuhan, the city in China, there's a market and there they sell the bats, snakes and wild animals.
And people eat that.
And people eat that.
So somehow that disease of the bats came to the human beings.
So somehow the disease of the bats came to the human beings.
But they have a similar market in Indonesia.
But they have the similar market in Indonesia.
I don't know if they have such a market in Singapore.
I don't know if they have such a market in Singapore.
But there's the danger that some people, they eat all kinds of strange things.
But this is the danger that some people, they eat all kind of these strange things.
And that brings the diseases of the animals to the human beings.
And that brings these diseases of animals to the human beings.
You hear about swine flu, you hear about this Ebola.
You heard about the swine flu, Ebola.
It's all from the animals.
They are all from the animals.
You never hear of tomato flu,
You never hear tomato flu,
potato flu.
potato flu.
All these flus, all these pandemics are from animals.
All these flus, all these pandemic are from animals.
So, of course, we know that the majority of people in the world eat animals.
Of course, we know that majority of the people in the world eat animals.
So this is a good time to influence them
But it is a good time to influence them
to reduce the animal diet.
to reduce the animal diet.
Anyway, our devotees follow these the 4 principles.
Our devotees follow these 4 principles.
So naturally, generally we don't eat any meat, fish, egg, onion, garlic.
Generally, we don't eat this meat, fish, eggs, onion, garlic.
We don't do intoxication, etc.
We don't do intoxication, etc.
So that within our habits, we don't causing any pandemic,
So within our habits, we are not causing any pandemic,
but we are suffering.
but we are suffering.
So we want to, I don't know if you have seen the recent video of Sriram Maharaj.
I don't know if you have seen the recent video of Shivaram Maharaj.
Some of the videos of the GDC.
Some of the videos of the GBC.
We're trying to, they are presenting this. It's a good opportunity to preach.
They are trying to present that this is a good opportunity to preach.
to disseminate the knowledge that we are not the body or the spirit soul.
To spread this knowledge that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul.
That there is a Supreme Lord and we are all meant to serve Him.
That there is a Supreme Lord and we are all meant to serve Him.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any questions?
Any questions? So devotees can either ask the question by audio or they can write in the chat section their questions.
Was there?
I think Singapore has a lot of Bengali devotees. They need Bengali translation.
This when I'm speaking English, I have a special program called Speaking Bengali.
As soon as I speak in English, I have a...
No, I will in the future.
In the future, I'll have a special program to be translated in Bengali.
No, I'll speak in Bengali.
I'll speak in Bengali sometime.
If I speak in Bengali, the majority of devotees will not understand.
If I speak in Bengali, majority of the devotees won't understand.
Any other question?
Any other question?
Hare Krishna, ধন্যবাদ প্রণাম গুরু মহারাজ।
Hare Krishna.
আমি বসন্ত কৃষ্ণ বলছি, আপনার নবম সন্তান। তো গুরু মহারাজ, আমরা একটা জানার বিষয়, সেই ক্ষেত্রে অনেক ভক্তরা যারা প্রসাদ পাচ্ছেন, ভক্তদের রান্নাতে কোনো সুযোগ সুবিধা নেই বা অন্য কোনো ভক্ত থেকে তারা প্রসাদ সংগ্রহ করতে পারছে না, এবং সিদ্ধান্ত হচ্ছে এবং থেকে সিঙ্গাপুর সরকারকে যে সকল খাদ্য দেওয়া হবে সে সমস্ত দিতে হবে। এমত অবস্থায় ভক্তরা কিভাবে প্রসাদ গ্রহণ করবেন? বা ইন্ডিয়ান যে ভেজিটেরিয়ান যেটা বলা হয় সেখানে পেঁয়াজ রসুন সংমিশ্রণ থাকে খাবারের সাথে, সেগুলো তারা দিতে পারবে কিনা সে বিষয়ে যদি কিছু বলতে পারেন।
So the question from Prabhu is, like in this situation of pandemic, the devotees, they don't have facility to gather, to take prasadam, to cook for the community. We have to depend on the government. Whatever the government of Singapore is supplying, we have to take that, and they might put onion garlic in the food. So what to do in this situation?
This is for the day labor type people.
This is just for the day labor type
For
people
the labor people.
or labor people? Yes.
আমরা সবাই ওয়ার্কার এখানে,
Not for the families.
আপনারা পরিবারের সঙ্গে নেই?
হ্যাঁ পরিবারের সঙ্গে নেই, আমরা সবাই কাজ করে, তো কাজে ডমিটরিতে থাকা হয়, ওয়ার্কার।
It's not an ordinary situation.
So it's not an ordinary situation.
It's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
So there's a saying in Sanskrit that emergency knows no rules.
So there's a saying in Sanskrit that emergency knows no rules.
I had some people working in the merchant marine.
I had some people. Yes, Mani Gopal Bhu.
রোমাজ বলছেন যে যখন কোনো পুরোই নিয়ম, যখন এরকম পরিস্থিতি থাকে, কোনো নিয়ম করে না,
I had people working in a merchant marine, and there they served meat to all the workers.
So I had somebody who used to work in merchant marine, and they had all these people served non-veg. So Guru Maharaj বলছিলেন কি যে প্রভু প্রশ্ন করেছে কি সিঙ্গাপুর যে সরকার আছে যা দিচ্ছে ওটাই খেতে হচ্ছে, আর ওর মধ্যে পেঁয়াজ আর লসুন থাকতে পারে। তো গুরু মহারাজ বলছেন কি এই যে পরিস্থিতি আছে এটা সামান্য পরিস্থিতি নেই, এটা আপাতকালীন স্থিতি, এমার্জেন্সি। তো সংস্কৃতে একটা কথা আছে কি আপাতকালীন স্থিতির মধ্যে কিছু নিয়ম চলে না। তারপরে গুরু মহারাজ উদাহরণ দিচ্ছেন কি যে নেভিতে একজন ছিল, ও কাজ করতো, ওদেরকে মার্চেন্ট নেভিতে কাজ করতো, সো ওদেরকে আমিষ খাওয়ার জন্য ওরা দিত।
He arranged with the cook to give them veg and keep the meat.
And he arranged with the cook that he get a vegetarian meal. তো ও যে ভক্ত ছিল, ও যে রাঁধুনির সঙ্গে একটু মানে ফিক্স করে ডিল করে এরকম করে নিয়েছে কি ও শাকাহারি ভোজন পেত, আর মিট ওকে খাওয়া হতো না।
It's like when we go in the train, if we have sambar and rice. Sambar has onion.
Just like when we go in the train and we see sambar and rice, তো যখন আমরা ট্রেনে যাত্রা করি আর আমরা দেখি ওখানে অন্ন পাওয়া যায় আর সাম্বার পাওয়া যায় আর সাম্বার মধ্যে তো পেঁয়াজ থাকবে,
So we got idli and chutney.
আর আমরা পাই ইডলি আর চাটনি, উই গেট ইডলি অ্যান্ড চাটনি।
Chutney has no onion. Idli and chutney have no onion.
ইডলি অ্যান্ড চাটনি দে ডোন্ট হ্যাভ অনিয়ন, সো ইডলি আর চাটনি মধ্যে পেঁয়াজ থাকে না।
Anyway, somehow you should try to avoid onion garlic.
সো এনিওয়েজ ইউ শুড ট্রাই টু অ্যাভয়েড অনিয়ন গার্লিক। আপনাকে যেহেতু চেষ্টা করতে হবে কি পেঁয়াজ লসুন না খেতে হয়।
What choice to have?
আপনার কাছে কিছু বিকল্প নাই। হোয়াট চয়েস ডু ইউ হ্যাভ?
You can buy some fruit and things and offer that.
You can buy some fruits and thing and you can offer that. আপনারা কিছু ফল টল কিনতে পারেন, ওটা ভোগ লাগাতে পারেন।
And you can take that as prasad.
And you can take that as prasad. আপনি ওটা প্রসাদ রূপে গ্রহণ করতে পারেন।
And then other things, I don't know what has onion, what doesn't. Try to avoid the onion.
I don't know what has onion and what doesn't have onion. Try to avoid that. আমি জানি না কিসের মধ্যে পেঁয়াজ থাকে কিসের মধ্যে নাই, কিন্তু আপনারা চেষ্টা করতে পারেন কি যার মধ্যে পেঁয়াজ থাকে ওটা বাদ দিতে।
I was suggesting that you talk to Devotees.20200419. Maybe he can arrange that the devotees somehow can eat prasada.
So I was suggesting that you can talk to Devotees.20200419 Prabhu. Maybe he can try to arrange that the devotees get prasadam. আমি বলতে চেয়েছিলাম কি আপনি দেবকীনন্দন প্রভুর সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন, কথা করতে পারেন, হতে পারে দেবকীনন্দন প্রভু ব্যবস্থা করতে পারে কি ভক্তরা কমপক্ষে প্রসাদ পায়।
Or anyway, get a doctor's order that you're allergic to onion.
Anyway, you can get doctor's order that you are allergic to onions. আর আপনারা কি ডাক্তার না বৈদ্যের সঙ্গে একটা লিখিত কিছু নিতে পারেন কি পেঁয়াজ লসুন আপনি যদি খাবেন আপনার অ্যালার্জি হয়ে যাবে, তো আপনি এটা বলতে পারেন ওদেরকে, অথরিটিকে।
I mean, and that many of you are at the same place. They can give you something without onions.
And if you are many people at one place, they can give you something without onions. যদি আপনারা অনেকজন একসঙ্গে থাকছেন তো ওরা আপনাকে আলাদা ভাবে কিছু দিতে পারে যার মধ্যে পেঁয়াজ লসুন নয়।
Anyway, when you do it, you just do the best you can.
Anyway, what you can do in this situation, you should do the best you can. আপনারা এই পরিস্থিতিতে বেশি কিছু করতে পারবেন না, যা সব থেকে ভালো হবে ওটা আপনি করতে পারেন।
Acha.
Okay, we'll take one more question. Devakinandan Prabhu said we have been liaising with the authorities. Please contact. He has given his number. So Devakinandan Prabhu has written that he is dealing with the authorities and trying, and the devotees can talk to Devakinandan Prabhu, and he has given his number 90706870. Currently, Krishna Chandra Prabhu is delivering 130 prasadam plates to devotees in the dormitories. So Devakinandan Prabhu লিখেছে কি দেবকীনন্দন প্রভু অথরিটি সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করছে, যদি আপনারা কিছু সুবিধা এটা চান তাহলে প্রভু নাম্বার দিয়েছে 90706870। আর এখন কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র প্রভু ভক্ত যে আছেন ও 130 প্লেট প্রসাদ ভক্তদের কি জন্য পাঠাচ্ছে প্রত্যেক দিন ডরমেটরিতে। হরিবল। Next question please. This is from Navagora Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. There's a lot of stress due to this lockdown and a lot of negative energy all around due to this pandemic suffering. How to remain positive and see this as Krishna's mercy. So এটা প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে নবগৌর প্রভু দ্বারা প্রশ্ন করেছেন, এই যে আপাতকালীন স্থিতি এসেছে করোনা ভাইরাসের জন্য সবাই স্ট্রেসের মধ্যে আছে, চাপের মধ্যে আছে, মানসিক চাপের মধ্যে, আর পুরো সব জায়গাতে যে নেগেটিভ যে শক্তি আছে, তো এই সময় কিভাবে আমরা এটা ভাবতে পারি, এক প্রথমে সকারাত্মক পজিটিভ কিভাবে থাকতে পারি আর কিভাবে দেখতে পারি এটা কৃষ্ণের কৃপা।
We know that this material world is a dukhalaya.
So we know that this material world is dukhalaya. আমরা জানি এটা ভৌতিক জগৎ আছে দুঃখালয়।
And we want to serve Krishna.
And we want to serve Krishna. আমরা চাই আমরা কৃষ্ণের সেবা করতে চাই।
We know that the real happiness is in serving Krishna.
We know that the real happiness is in serving Krishna. আমরা জানি কি পরম আনন্দ যে আসল যে প্রসন্নতা আছে আমরা পাবো যখন আমরা কৃষ্ণের সেবা করব।
This material suffering, as I mentioned in my class,
This material suffering, as I mentioned in my class,
it's the mercy of Krishna that we can see how the material world is a place of suffering.
as I mentioned in my class, that how Krishna says that this material world is a place of suffering. আমি আমার ক্লাসে বলেছিলাম কি এই যে কৃষ্ণ বলেছে ভৌতিক জগৎ আছে দুঃখালয়, এর মধ্যে অনেক দুঃখ আছে।
So by chanting Hare Krishna, by chanting the Lord's name, one naturally gets peace and happiness.
So by chanting Hare Krishna, by chanting Lord's holy name, one get peace and happiness. তো হরি নাম যখন আমরা জপ করব আমরা প্রসন্নতা আনন্দ পাবো আর শান্তি পাবো।
So you see the devotees are happy in every situation.
Actually the devotees are happy in every situation. আসলে ভক্তরা সব সময় আনন্দে থাকে।
Because we're attached to serving Krishna, not to the material so-called happiness.
But because we are not attached to serving Krishna, and we are
not attached to material happiness.
And we are not attached to material happiness. আমরা কৃষ্ণের প্রতি আসক্ত আছি আর আমরা যে ভৌতিক জগতে যে সুখ আছে ওর প্রতি আমরা আসক্ত নই।
You know, happiness is temporary, suffering is temporary.
We know that happiness is temporary, suffering is temporary. আমরা জানি যে সুখ আর দুঃখ দুটোই অশাশ্বত আছে।
And they're all very superficial.
And they are all very superficial. ये सब जिनिस कृत्रिम আছে।
And if we have awakened our natural love for Krishna, that completely satisfies itself.
If we awaken our natural love for Krishna, it completely satisfy ourselves. यदि हमरा যে স্বাভাবিক যে প্রেম আছে কৃষ্ণের প্রতি যদি ও উজাগর হয়ে যাবে তো আমরা নিশ্চয়ই সন্তুষ্ট হয়ে যাব।
Just reading in the evening at 6 to 7 Indian time.
We are just reading at 6 to 7 Indian time. সন্ধ্যা বেলা আমরা 6টা থেকে 7টা ভারতীয় সময় আমরা পাঠ করি।
So there we saw how Advaita Gosai and Nityananda were having an argument.
There we saw how Advaita Gosai and Nityananda are having an argument. ওখানে আমরা দেখেছি কিভাবে নিত্যানন্দ আর অদ্বৈতা ওরা বিচার বিমর্শ করছে, আর্গুমেন্ট করছে, ঝগড়া করছে।
So actually after the jagra, after the argument, they embrace each other, laughing.
But after the argument, they are embracing each other and they are laughing. কিন্তু ঝগড়া করার পরে ওরা এক दूसरे আলিঙ্গন করছে আর ওরা হাসছে।
So this ecstatic love of Krishna manifests in different ways.
So this ecstatic love for Krishna, it may manifest in many ways. তো এই যে পরম আনন্দ আছে কৃষ্ণ প্রেমের আলাদা আলাদা ভাবে প্রকাশ হতে পারে।
So you want the devotees to taste this spiritual love of Krishna.
So we want the devotees to taste the spiritual love of Krishna. আমরা চাই কি ভক্তরা এই যে কৃষ্ণ প্রেমের আস্বাদন করে।
And naturally we become very fixed. We see everything as the Lord's mercy.
Naturally we will become fixed and we'll see this as the mercy of Krishna. আমরা স্বাভাবিক ভাবে আমরা কৃষ্ণ প্রেম পাবো আর দেখবো এসব কৃষ্ণের যে কৃপা আছে।
Hare Krishna.
হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.